Hi guys, welcome to the channel. So the question that we'll be solving today is LeetCode 1504, count submatrices with all ones. This is a medium level question, but it took me quite a long time to solve actually this question. And if you're not used to this type of question, then you may find it very intimidating at first. But once you have practiced enough problems on this pattern, like count all the squares of all ones or count all rectangles with all ones, then this is like which will automatically come to you and you will be able to solve this kind of question with intuition. So now let's see what this question is actually asking. So basically we have been giving an input matrix, and then in this input matrix the elements are either 1 or 0, and you have to tell all the uh, some matrices with all ones or all the rectangles with all ones. Rectangles can, a square is also a rectangle, right? So all the, basically you have to count all the rectangles with all the ones inside it in this uh, matrix. So let's see how what explanation they have given in the question. So we have an input matrix of 1 0 1 1 1 0 and then 1 1 0 again. So how many rectangles are there? Let's count. So if we count 1 cross 1 rectangles, how many are there? So we have one this, one this, one this and this. So total 6. 1 by 1 cross 1 rectangle. Then how many rectangles are of 1 cross 2? So 1 cross 2 means that the height will be 1, width will be 2. So how many such rectangles are there? You have this one here, sorry, one height and width will be 2. So we have one here and then one height and one width is here. So we have total 2 1 cross 2 rectangles. Now let's see how many 2 cross 1 rectangles are there. So by 2 cross 1 we mean the height is 2, width is 1. So this is 2 cross 1 is this rectangle, and then 1 is this rectangle, and then 1 is this rectangle. So total we have 3 uh, 1 cross 2 rectangles, right? So 3 1 cross 2 rectangles. Now let's see 2 cross 2 rectangles. How many 2 cross 2 rectangles are there with all ones? So if we see 2 cross 2, that means height is 2 and width is 2. So height 2, width 2, we can see only there is one rectangle of such a dimension. So 2 cross 2, only one rectangle is there. Now let's see how many rectangle are of there of 3 cross 1. So 3 cross 1 means 3 is the height, 1 is the width. So we can see we have only one rectangle over here. So this is one rectangle. So let's count what are the total number of rectangles. The total number of rectangles are 6, 2, 8, 3, 11, 1, 12, 1, 13. So this is what you have to actually return. So this is what the question is asking, how many total rectangles are there of all ones, right? So the optimal approach of solving this question can be a bit tricky to see. So what I will do here is I will start from the very brute force approach. We'll analyze the complexity involved and then we'll gradually move to the optimized approach. So this video can be a bit longer, but it is very important to watch it thoroughly to get the concept behind it. Once you have got the concept behind it, once you have seen the crux of the problem, then you'll easily be able to follow through. So let's see the brute force approach of this problem, right? So let me rub this example for first. We'll take a shorter example to run our brute force solution. So we have 101, 101, we have 110, 0, and then 110. This is your matrix. Let me write the indices here, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. Now to even come up with a brute force solution, we have to see some basic observation regarding a rectangle, right? So if you have been given a rectangle, don't think about the matrix here, just a normal geometrical figure of rectangle. So how can you uniquely identify a rectangle? So we need actually two of its corner to uniquely identify it. So in the Cartesian system, if we have the coordinate of the top left corner and bottom right corner, then we can actually uniquely identify a rectangle of the dimension x2 minus x1 cross y1 minus y2, or you can take mod of both. So to uniquely identify a rectangle, you would need a top left corner and a bottom right corner, right? So how we'll actually approach the brute force solution for this problem is, we'll fix every element as a top left corner, right? So 0 comma 1, 0 will be one top left corner, then 0 comma 1, 0 comma 2, 1 comma 0, 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, likewise 2 comma 0, 2 comma 1 and 2 comma 2, right? So these many total number of elements will fix it as a top left corner, right? So once we have fixed a top left corner, we'll check how many bottom right corner we can make, and if we can make all the bottom right corner, and if all the elements are there 0, then we simply include that matrix in our answer. So let's try to run this brute force in this small example. So let's fix 0 comma 0 as our top left. So if we fix here 1, what all elements can be made as a bottom right corner? So for 0 comma 1, what are the rectangles that we can make? So we can make 1 here, we'll have 1, then 1 here, we can make 1, and then we can have 1 here, right? We can add 1. Can we add this? No, because it is 0. We cannot include this one as well, because then it will again be 0. Can we include this as a bottom right? Again, no, we cannot include, because this is like, you can, this 0 will coincide here. So with 0 comma 0 as your top left corner, you can have 3 rectangles possible. Now let's come to 0 comma 1. So 0 comma 1 is 0, so we cannot take it as a top left corner, because we want rectangles of only ones, so we cannot have. Now let's, so it will be 0. Now let's come to 0 comma 2. So with 0 comma 2, you have this as a starting point. So with this as a starting point, we can see we can only make one rectangle, because if we try to extend downwards, we have 0 and we cannot extend to the right? So for 0 comma 2, the number of rectangles is only 1. Let's move to 1 comma 0. With 1 comma 0, you can see you can have this, you can have this, you can have this, and you can have this. So total 4 rectangles we can make out of here, right? So here you can have 4. With 1 comma 1, with 1 comma 1, how many rectangles you can have? You can have one this and then one this. You cannot extend to the right side because they are all 0. So we can have 2 rectangles over here. With 1 comma 2, again it's a 0, so we'll skip and then come to 2 comma 0, it's 1, so 1 is this and then 1 is this. So this is 2 rectangles over here. Similarly with 2 comma 1, we can have only one at its. So what we are trying, every this coordinate, we are fixing it as a top left this corner, and we are trying to find rectangles of all ones with one bottom right? So with 2 comma 1, this is 2 comma 1 is this element, so this is only 1, so we can have only one matrix or some matrix there. Now 2 comma 2 is 0, so we'll simply skip it. So let's count what is the total sum we got. We got 3 plus 1 4 plus 4 8 plus 2 10 plus 2 12 plus 1 13. So we got total 13 rectangles here, and this 13 rectangle is actually, if you see here, our answer over here, right? So this is actually the brute force of finding total number of submatrix. Now let's see what will be the steps. For the steps will be, first we have to fix every cell as top left corner of the rectangle, right? So for every cell we have to make a top left. Now for every top left, that you have fixed, you need to find bottom right? And with that bottom right, like for example, you for one of the top left is your, let's say, let me change the color here. One of the top left, you have fixed this this cell, and one of the bottom right you have fixed this cell. So you have to also check whether this is forming the correct rectangle or not. What I'm trying to say is, if you have fixed when any rectangle at coordinate x1 y1 and bottom right as x2 y2, then you also have to check whether this is forming this enclosure that, or this rectangle that it is making, is all filled with ones or not. So for every top left, once you have fixed the bottom right, then you need to check if it is all ones, then only you can add that to your count, right? So let's now see the complexity involved with this. So what we are doing is, we are fixing every cell as top left. So if the dimension of my matrix is m cross n with m rows and n columns, then how many total starting point we can make is, that is total number of cells. So we have m cross n, total number of starting top left point, and then for every top left we can have m cross n bottom right, right? So I mean, it will actually be, for this we can have for first element we'll have m cross n bottom right. With this, of course, it will keep on decreasing, but overall in big O notation this will be like in a quadratic or m cross n terms only. So for m cross n start point, roughly you will have m cross n ending point. Now once you have m cross n ending points, you have starting point, you have top left point, you have one bottom right, and then you also have to check if it is all ones or not. So for that also you will have to actually visit every element in that enclosure. So if this is my enclosure, then roughly you will have to visit all elements. So for the first one you will have to visit all, then for the second one it will be slightly less, and then it will keep on decreasing, but roughly on the big O notation it will be roughly around m cross n. Right, so if you can see, this brute force technique is very expensive. It is of order m cube into n cube. So this is the brute force time complexity that is involved in this solution. So if you'll tell this to your interviewer, he won't be very much impressed by your algorithm, and then he would ask you to optimize it. Right, but this is, so to actually see through the optimized version of the solution, that can be a bit tricky if you are not used to this type of problem. So don't get intimidated, just follow along and watch it slowly, and then I'm sure you'll be able to get it. So now let's try to see the optimized approach. So our brute force solution time complexity come out to be order of m cube n cube. How we can actually optimize this, right? So let's see with the same example, 101 110 and then 110. This is our input matrix. So what we are effectively doing is setting one top left corner of the rectangle. We are trying to basically find how many total rectangles can be formed with that fixed top left point, right? So for a moment, just consider you have only, this problem is given to you on an one dimensional array. Just consider this top row, right? So for example, let's see, I have this top row at 0 1 1 1 and then 0 and then 1, right? This is like your array that has been given to you, and then I say you to find me the all the rectangle of dimension 1, I mean all the rectangle that can be start from every element taken as a top left corner, right? So let's see how we can find that. So if I take this particular element as a top left corner, then the only rectangle I can form is this one, right? So this will be only one I can form. If I take this element as top left, then the rectangle I can form is 0 because the element is 0. If I take this as the top left, this, if I take this element, this third element, if I take this, right? So if I take this, then one rectangle I can form is this, one rectangle I can form is this, and one rectangle I can form is this. So total 1, 2, 3 rectangle I can form. Right, now come to this one. If I take this as a starting, then one I can form is this, and then other I can form is this. So this is 2. Right, now come to this point. Here you have 1 this, and you cannot extend to the right because there is a 0. It will be 1 only. Right, so only one rectangle I can form. 0 will have 0, 1 only one rectangle. So if we have only one row, this problem seems to be fairly easy. You just have to maintain what is the maximum contiguous number of ones are there on the right of it, including that element from where you are starting. Here it is 3, here it is 2, here it is 1, here it is 1, and likewise 0. So this is a very easy step if we have only one dimensional array. Now let's try to apply this for our input question, right? So our input is 101. That is, we are now only taking this first row. Just forget about the below row. We are just taking the first row. So if I take the first row, right, then how many I can form with this first element as the starting point? I can form only one element, one with second as a starting point. I can form only 0, and with third at the starting point, I can form only 1. Now let's extend this to two dimension. So let's add the other row as well. So other row is 110. Now just forget the first row and let's find for the second. If we were given only second row, then what will be the rectangle? So if I start for this top left corner, then I can form two rectangle. One is this and one is this, right? So I can form two rectangle. And then if I go to this here, then I can form only 1, and here I can form only 0, right? Now similarly, let's add the third row as well. This is 1 1 0, and if we were given only this, forget about the top rows. If we are given only this top this bottom row only, and consider this 1D bottom row only, forget everything that is above it, right? So if we are given this row only, then by our method, for this as top left, this will be 2, this will be 1, and then this will be 0, right? So now what we have done is, let for every row we have actually calculated how many rectangles can be formed as taking every element as a top left corner of the rectangle. And this will be fairly easy. We can actually modify our existing matrix only to find these numbers, right? Now let's extend this problem to two dimensions, right? So let's say we are at our, let me write the indexes. We want to find all the rectangles with this 0 comma 0 as its starting index, right? So with, if we have only first row, and if we check all the, if we keep ending on the first row only, then the only rectangle that we can form is this one, right? Now our height was up only this much, right? Now let's increase the height. So the rectangle formed height will be this, and then how many, what, by how much breadth can we increase here? So our height is increased, but how much breadth can we increase? Just pause the video for a moment and try to think for yourself. It is very easy if you see, and very obvious. So as soon as we added another height 1, we can see the maximum 2 that we can go is 2 only, but the top width that we have to extend by keeping this as a top left corner will not be extended to 2. Why? Because we'll have a 0 here, right? So how much width we can extend? We can only extend this much width, right? and with this much width and this height, what will be the how many rectangles can we form, right? Just think about it. How many rectangles can we form? That will be the minimum of this 2 and 1. So what will be the minimum of this 2 and 1? 1. So there will be with 0 comma 0 as your top left corner, you can only have two rectangles. And how you can see here, right? So I'll just make that here 1 0 1 1. So how many rectangles you can form with this as a top left? One is this, and then another is this. You cannot extend either in this direction or in this direction, right? So we'll actually extend our algorithm once again. So now what if we add one more row here? So our height will be increased, right? So our height is increased. That means we can have this whole height now. But what about our width? Here the width is also 2. As you can see, we have pre-calculated this width as 2. We have this width as 2, but then our minimum width on the top left side is actually not allowing us to extend our width. So that will be the, so for 3 height 3, the maximum width that we can go is only 1, because this minimum is propagating down and it is acting as a bound for our breadth increase, right? So we can only have 1, so width will be 1 and there is like only one rectangle here. So this here we can add, actually if we add the third row as well, this will be plus 1, this big rectangle I'm talking about, and then this will be 3. So with 0 comma 0, or the only rectangles you can form at the top left corner, the only rectangle you can form is only 3 rectangles you can form. And let's see what those 3 rectangles are. So I'm just showing here 0 1 1 0 and 1 0, right? So what are those 3 rectangles with the 0 comma 0 as our top right? One is this, one is this, and one is this, right? So with 0 comma 0, you can only make this as a starting point. So once we have calculated this numbers, this individual numbers for every uh, row of the matrix, then we can actually use those numbers to calculate how much our width can increase depending on where our starting point was, right? And then if it is the 0, then we'll just ignore it. So this is how the optimized version of this will be formed. So how we can actually make the this array, this particular array, this the number 1 0 1 2 1 0, then 2 1 0, this can actually be made in order of m cross n time. And once you have made this in order of m cross n time, you can use that matrix. Even you can use the same matrix as well to increase this. Then we will just visit every element, set it as our starting point, and then uh, keep on calculating how many numbers we can actually make, how many rectangles we can actually make. So let's dry run this approach and see in this given example only, right? So we had 1 0 1 1 1 0 and then 1 1 0. This is our matrix. Now what we'll do at the first step, we'll calculate for each row how many matrices we can form if this is just the single row. So if that is single row, this is 1, this will be 0, this will be 1, this will be 2 here. So what this number indicates, this number indicates that if I take this cell as a starting point, then how many rectangles can I form or by taking this as a top left corner and top bottom right in the same row. So here will be, that is basically boils down to how many continuous ones are there towards its right. So it will be 2 including itself. So 1 2 2, 1 is 1 and this will be 0. Here 1 2 2, 1, and then this will be 0. So this will be your first step of the algorithm, that is you will first calculate this, right? Now what we'll do is you will take every element as a starting point and you will calculate how many matrices can be formed there. Right? So if I take 0 comma 0, then this is 1, so 1 here, then we'll increase height by 1. So from this first row you can only make 1, from the second row you can make 2, but then our height will be bound by 1, so it will be minimum of the above 2, so it will be 1 only, then 1 from the first row, then we increase height 1 from the second row, and then third also it will be minimum of this number, and what is the minimum current running minimum, so this will be 1, so this will be 3, so we'll have 3 here. Now similarly we'll calculate for 0 comma 1, 0 comma 2, 1 comma 0, 1 comma 1 comma 2, this will be 2 comma 0, 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, right? So let's try to dry run this question. With 0 comma 1 it is 0, so contribution will be 0. With 0 comma 2 it is 1, so 1, and then here minimum will be 0, so this will be 1. For 0 comma 2, for 0 comma 2 it is, sorry, I actually did a mistake here, this will be 1, and then for 0 comma 2 this is this cell, this will be 1. For 1 comma 0 we'll have 2, and then once we increase the height it will be 2 only. So for 0 comma 1 initial from the first row I can go up to 2, plus then if I increase the height by 1 then I can again go up to 2, this will be 2. Now 1 comma 1 I can go up to 1, and then I'll increase the height, then again I can go up to 1. With 1 comma 2 it is 0, we'll ignore it. With 2 comma 1, 2 comma 0 I can go up to 2, then 2 comma 1 I can go up to 1, and then 0. So let's try to add all this. This is 3, 0, 3 plus 1, 4. This is 2 plus 2, 4. So 3, 1, 4 plus 4, 8. 8 plus 2, 10 plus 2, 12 plus 1, 13. So this is your answer. So this is actually the algorithm. So what are the steps of algorithm? First you will find if we have this one row only, then how many rectangles we can form with every element at its top left. So that will be done in order of m cross n, right? And then second, for every element taken at the starting point. So there are total m cross n element we are taking at a starting point, and then we are increasing height one by one, and the maximum that height could go is this whole height of the row. That is the, if it is an m cross n matrix, then this will be m, the maximum height could go. So the overall time complexity is order of m square n plus order of m into n from this first step, from the second step, and so in big O notation this will be order of m square n algorithm, which is much less than our brute force, which was order of m cube n cube, right? So this was the algorithm. So if you have not I know it will be quite intimidating to get the feel or the crux of the solution once, but then try to break the problem and see, or you can rewind the video and watch it again if you have not got the intuition behind it. So it's like what we are doing, we are actually first breaking the problem into single one dimensional arrays and then trying to find it by there, and then once we are extending height one by one, then we are using those calculated values again. So it's a kind of DP, we are using some pre-computed values. So it is like not a proper DP in conventional sense, like how we solve some standard DP problems, but it has some gist or feel, or because why, what we're basically doing is we are basically calculating it for one dimensional arrays and then using those values to actually calculate our final result, right? So this is the actually optimal approach for this particular question. So for this question, I usually have the code submitted, but for this I'll actually write the code in the editor, and then we'll see how whether this question gets accepted or not. And the algorithm is ready with us, so it should not be a problem. So what we have been given, we have been given a matrix. So first what I will do is I will actually calculate the row and column of the matrix. So row will be matrix dot size as it's a vector, and then column it will be matrix of 0 dot size, right? So once we have the what you say the this row and column, then what we have to do is we have to actually calculate the entire what you say the this array, this 101, this for individual, and we can actually use the existing array only. So how to calculate that? For let me will have a two-dimensional. So this will actually will start filling from the right side. So c minus 2 go from the right side, it will be like order of m cross n, right? So c by 2, and then j should be greater than equal to 0, j minus minus, right? And then what we will do, we will only calculate if that is equal to 1. So if value at that particular index is equal to 1, then the value of that particular index is equal to its own value plus value at that row and the element just after it. So this will actually give you that whole array. For every row we can have that array basically clear. So I can actually show you what we are doing here. So let's see this example: 0 1 1 0 and then 0 1 1 1. Sorry for that. 0 1 1 1 and then 1 1 1 0. So what we are basically doing here is we are taking every row, for every row, and then for every column, like for every column we are starting from back side. So if we have 0 1 1 0, we're starting from this element. So if it is 0, right, so if it is 1, so 1 is its value plus the value on the right side. So 1 plus right side is uh, uh, 0, so 1 plus 0 will be 1. Here 1 plus right side is now 1, so this will be 0, and then 0 will be 0 only. So it will be 0 2 1 0. This will be 0. So this was like from here we can make something like that. So this code is actually doing that. It is making that matrix that we'll be using later to find out the answer. So let's move forward. So now we have our matrix ready. What we have to do now is, let's have our matrix is ready, then we have to return a count of such matrix, and the count will be equal to 0 initially. Then what we are doing, we are actually, okay, I made a mistake. Yeah, what we are doing here is we are actually fixing every top left corner. So again we'll have to run this loop for I is equal to 0, I is less than r, I plus plus, or int j is equal to 0, j less than c, j plus plus. And then now once we have fixed our starting point, right? So our starting point will be the I comma j, that will be starting point, right? Then what we are doing, we are then increasing for that starting point width, right? The width, or you can call it as depth, right? So we are not increasing the width, we are increasing the height. So we can height, or we are coming down, we can call it just depth. So our depth will start from 0 1 and go up till whatever is the height of the whatever the total number of rows. So how we will have that? For int d for depth, starting from, it will start from the current element, the I, right? If we have fixed this element, then our depth will start from 1, right? 1 and then increase to 2, because we would need this number, right? This 2 that we have calculated. So we'll start it from I. So our depth will start from I, and then depth will be less than R. That will be the total height depth that can be achieved, D plus plus. And then here what we have to do, right? So here what we have to do, we have to actually, if you remember in our optimized approach, we were actually bound by this minimum value. Of course here it was extended up till this next 2, right? But then it was bound by this one, so we chose this one rather than this 2, that is the minimum of the both of two. So we'll also have to maintain a minimum width that can be achieved with that starting position. So min width initially would be where we are, that is mat of I comma j, and then at every step we will actually update our min width also, right? So min width is equal to min of min width comma what position we are. So we are at t comma j, right? We'll have to move that column as well. So we'll be at t comma j, and then we'll have to add this min width at our count variable, count min width, right? So yeah, this should actually solve this problem, and then we'll have to simply return count. So let's try to submit this and run that. Let's see if we don't have any compilation issues here. So yeah, it is like min width is not okay. There is a typo I made. Now let's submit this code again. Okay, min width. I have another min width. Okay, this is again a typo. Sorry for that. Let's see. So yeah, we are getting, our question is running on this input custom test cases that we have. So one thing, one optimization also, I think the code will get submitted here as well. Let's submit it, and if you see, this was accepted. So one other optimization, if you want to speed up the code, that we could do is we could simply add, like, if min width is 0 at some point, then there is no point of actually getting there. So if, like, for example, what I'm saying is, consider this case when it was like, here it was like, here it was 1, okay, here it was 1 1 2 and then 2. Now let's consider this 2 was not 2 but 0, right? So it was 0. So since we are maintaining a minimum, your minimum will be at this point will be 0, and then this 0 would propagate downward. So if we have 0 at any point, we can simply break this loop here. So if we can just check if mat at that particular point is t comma j is equal to 0, we can simply break from here. Let's run it again. Yeah, it is accepted, and then it's submitted. So we actually improved it from 52 ms to 32 ms. It is not very big of an improvement, but yeah, some mutation we are avoiding there. So yeah, this is how this problem will be solved, and this is the end of this video. I guess this was a long video, but yeah, this the explanation for this video was quite beautiful, I believe, when I was solving this, and I thought if you can give it some time, you will be able to solve all the kind of question based on this pattern, right? So thank you guys. If you're new to this channel, please consider liking and subscribing to it, and let's meet again with a new video.